Today, I'm not here to tell you how to make money fast or share million-dollar investment secrets. I'm here to ask you one simple question. But if you pause long enough to truly feel it, it could completely change the way you live. Is money really something you have to chase? Have you ever noticed? Some people work incredibly hard, grinding from morning till night and still struggle to make ends meet, while others move through life gently, even effortlessly. And yet money flows to them steadily, even abundantly. Is it just luck? Or do they know something we were never taught? From a young age, we've been programmed to believe, to have money you must suffer. To be rich, you must sacrifice. And sometimes only the not-so-good people get wealthy. But what if none of that was ever true? What if money doesn't come from all the effort outside, but from something invisible inside you? In this video, I won't teach you how to make money. I'll invite you to look within, to the place where all true wealth begins. You know, I used to think money was something physical, something with shape, quantity, printed in ink, and stored in a bank. But the more I observed life, and the deeper I looked within myself, I realized something very different from what books had taught me. Money is not material. Money is energy. And like all forms of energy, money doesn't come from what you do. It comes from the frequency you live in. You can work hard, be smart, professional, efficient, but if the frequency you're sending out every day is, I don't have enough, I need to prove I'm worthy, I'm not sure I can hold on to money, then you're broadcasting a signal that actually pushes money away, even while you're trying so hard to attract it. On the other hand, there are people who take very simple actions, but they radiate a frequency of trust, openness, and sufficiency. And that energy makes money to want to come closer. Just like a radio, you can't hear music unless you're tuned to the right frequency. Money works the same way. It doesn't chase anyone. It simply responds to the frequency you're already transmitting. And when you understand this, you begin to see you don't need to strain or struggle to have money. You simply need to clear what's within and align with the frequency of abundance. Now you know, money is energy. And energy only responds to the real frequency you're emitting, not the words you say or how hard you try. The problem is, many people think they're living in the frequency of abundance, but deep down, they're completely misaligned. I call this the frequency mismatch. It happens when the three core elements within you are out of sync. Thoughts. You say you want to attract money. You write down financial goals. You visualize wealth, beliefs. But deep inside, you still believe that money comes and goes, that good people don't get rich, or that you're not worthy of that kind of life. Actions, and your actions come from fear. You overwork yourself. You choose jobs out of pressure, not passion. You act from lack, not love. When these three aren't aligned, the universe can't truly understand what you're asking for. And money, like water, flows around you, not to you. You can think positively all day long, but if your beliefs are still limiting and your actions still come from a place of scarcity, your frequency is still lack, not attraction. It's like pressing the gas and the brakes at the same time. The car can't move forward. You have to release the brakes, the old limiting beliefs, and bring your thoughts, beliefs, and actions into alignment. When those three become one, you're no longer just thinking about wealth. You're living in the energy of abundance. Have you ever found yourself like this? You say you want more money, but your mind is filled with worry. I don't know if I'll have enough this month. What if I lose my job soon? Money comes and goes, how can I possibly keep it? You don't say it out loud, but your body, your energy, your every small action throughout the day is broadcasting anxiety, resistance, and noise. And as I've shared before, money doesn't listen to what you say. It responds to the frequency you live in. Imagine you are a radio transmitter. You want to tune into the channel called abundance, but you're still broadcasting on the scarcity frequency. The result? No matter how hard you try, the signal stays distorted. The flow of money can't pick you up. That's when you fall into what I call the frequency of distortion. In this state, you're doing a lot but seeing little result. You pray but don't fully believe what you're saying. You take action but it's driven by fear, not clarity. On the other hand, when you shift into the frequency of flow, everything begins to move. You don't have to force it. You don't have to strain. You just need to live with inner alignment and honesty. When you believe you are worthy, when you speak from that belief, and when you act as if it's already real, the flow opens. The frequency of flow isn't about doing something special. It's about returning to your true self, clear, fearless, unapologetically aligned. And when you live in that frequency, money, opportunities, and support come to you naturally, like water flowing exactly where it's meant to go. Have you ever asked yourself, I've studied, worked hard, pushed non-stop, so why doesn't money stay with me? The answer isn't that you haven't tried hard enough. It lies deeper in something often overlooked. Have you truly allowed yourself to be wealthy? Sounds strange, doesn't it? But the truth is, many people say they want money, yet don't feel safe when they actually imagine having it. Deep down, they carry layers of beliefs like, rich people are usually greedy. If I have too much, I'll be judged or envied. I should just have enough. Having more than others feels wrong. So, no matter how hard they work, their inner energy is silently rejecting abundance. Not with words, but from that subtle energetic level where everything begins. It's like a door you think is open, but deep inside, the bolt is still tightly locked. I used to be that person. I studied everything, tried every strategy, but when real opportunities came, I pulled back. I doubted whether I was good enough. I worried that I hadn't earned the right to receive. And then I realized I didn't need one more course or another tactic. I needed to release the belief that I had to deserve wealth before I could receive it. Here's the truth. Money doesn't need to be earned through pain. It only needs to be allowed to flow through you when you truly feel worthy of holding it. Not just logically, but in full energetic harmony. And once you release that resistance, the flow of money no longer feels like a miracle. It simply becomes the natural result of a door that's finally open. I want you to do something simple, but deeply real. Think back to the first time someone said something to you about money. How old were you? Who said it? And what did it feel like? You see, most of what we believe about money wasn't chosen by us. It was programmed into us. From the phrases repeated at the dinner table. Money doesn't grow on trees. Don't be greedy, just have enough. We weren't born to be rich. To the subtle lessons in school. Math problems about saving, rarely about investing or growing wealth. Subjects on morality often tied to sacrifice, never to abundance. Or through media, the wealthy characters in movies are often the villains. The kind-hearted ones are poor but noble. All of these messages repeated over and over become default truths in our subconscious. You grow up thinking you're making your own choices, but in reality, you're living out old programs you didn't even know were running. Believing that having too much makes people jealous, that I'm not as capable as others, that if I have more, someone else must have less. But those beliefs, they're not you. They're just old software you unknowingly installed. And the good news is, every piece of software can be uninstalled. The question is, do you have enough awareness to notice it? And enough courage to choose again? Because the moment you realize, wait, this belief isn't mine, that's the moment you begin to return those roots to the ones who unknowingly planted them and reclaim the power that has always been yours. Once you realize, I've been living with someone else's beliefs, the next step is not to blame. It's to rewrite yourself. Because every belief, no matter how old, is simply an internal blueprint and every blueprint can be redesigned. So how do you align your inner frequency with abundance and prosperity? I'm not talking about shouting affirmations or forcing yourself to believe. I'm talking about real shifts in the energy you live in each day. Here are 3 things you can start today. 1. Write a new truth. Write down a new belief, one you actually want to live by. Examples. I am safe having more than enough. The more I am myself, the more abundance flows to me. Money is my ally. Write it by hand. Every day. No need to force yourself to believe it at first. Just repeat it enough for the new frequency to begin embedding in your nervous system. 2. Clean your energetic environment. Take a look at what you're consuming every day. The people you listen to, the content you scroll through, the conversations centered on lack, struggle, and fear. Your frequency isn't created in isolation. It's absorbed from the environment you live in. If you're surrounded by a wave of negativity, you won't be able to broadcast clarity and flow no matter how hard you try. 3. Seal your energy leaks. Many people lose energy daily through draining relationships, clinging to choices they know aren't right, doing things they feel they should, but not what truly aligns. And here's the thing. Money doesn't flow into a leaking container. If you want financial flow, you need to heal the vessel first. You don't need to take 10 steps. Just start with one small thing you're ready to change. Repeat it. Nourish it. And one day, you won't have to try to become abundant. You'll simply be living in truth, and abundance will naturally sync with you. I believe in the power of ritual, not because it's mystical, but because ritual is how you remind your inner energy, I am ready to receive. Here are 3 small rituals that can completely shift your money frequency. 1. The overflow envelope, the envelope of abundance. Each month, set aside a small amount, even just a little, to give intentionally. Not out of obligation, not from guilt, but simply from this truth. I live in a flow of abundance, and I share from fullness, not from lack. Label the envelope with the word overflow, and every time you place money into it, smile. Money that is given with joy always returns in unexpected ways. 2. Write thoughts on your bills. Instead of fearing your electricity bill, rent, or credit card statement, turn each bill into an opportunity to reconnect with the flow of money. On every bill, write something like, I'm grateful to have the ability to pay this. Money is flowing through me to support life. I'm contributing to the greater flow. The frequency of gratitude is one of the strongest magnetic fields for abundance. 3. Golden light ritual. Meditate with money. Hold a bill in your hand. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Visualize a stream of golden light radiating from your heart, flowing into the money, then out into the world. You're not just holding money. You are becoming a radiant point in the flow of universal wealth. Repeat this each morning just for 3 minutes, and you'll start to notice you're no longer chasing money. You're living with its energy naturally, peacefully. I once had a friend. His name was Eric. He was an incredibly skilled plumber. Everything he did with precision. If someone called, he'd be there in a flash. Some months, he even earned more than engineers with degrees. But there was something strange. By the end of every month, Eric had no money left. Money came in fast, but it left even faster. I asked him, do you save anything? He laughed. I try to, but before I can, something always comes up. Eventually, I realized Eric didn't have a skills problem. He was truly talented. The problem was the energy he was carrying deep within. He grew up in a household where there was always a sense of lack. He constantly heard things like, there's never enough money, son. Every time we have something unexpected happens. And so his subconscious came to believe that money only shows up to leave. He became so familiar with living in a state of not enough that when money did start to come in, he unconsciously pushed it away. An unexpected bill, an unnecessary purchase, even forgetting how much he actually had. Eric wasn't broke because he wasn't good at his job. He was broke because his frequency didn't allow money to stay. And I'm sharing this because I believe many people are just like Eric. They don't need to learn another skill. They need to learn how to live in a different frequency. Neville Goddard once said, "Imagination is the beginning of creation." But he wasn't talking about imagination in the sense of wishful thinking. He meant the kind of imagination you feel as if what you desire is already happening. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind, emphasized, "You don't get what you want, you get what you are." What does that mean? It's simple. You can write down goals, 1 billion, 10 billion, a dream home, a vacation, but if every time you write them, your heart is filled with doubt, fear, or the thought that it's too far away, then you're not truly living in alignment with what you desire. Energy doesn't respond to words. It responds to the core emotion you're vibrating with. So if you want something, don't just think about it. Feel it. Live with it from the inside, as if it's already present within you. You want financial freedom? Ask yourself, how would someone who already has that freedom breathe? Sit? Make decisions? Then begin living like that person, even before the money arrives. When you shift your emotions and inner frequency, you're reprogramming your energetic field. And the universe, like a mirror, is simply reflecting back what you are. You don't need to become someone else to attract money. You just need to return to the truest version of yourself, the version untouched by old beliefs, past fears, or teachings from a distant past. You don't need to chase money. You need to become the place where money feels drawn to. When you live in the frequency of abundance, when you no longer resist the good that wants to come to you, when you act from the belief that I am worthy, money doesn't show up like a miracle. It arrives as a natural result. And above all, remember, money doesn't make you enough. But when you are enough, money arrives as resonance. If this video spoke to you, drop a comment below. What old belief about money are you ready to let go of today? And if you'd like to continue this journey with me, make sure to follow the channel, because this is only the beginning.